Tommy Langford, first things first, how are you?
I'm good, mate, really good. Just looking forward to the weekend and getting another win under the belt.
How's camp been for this fight?
It's been fantastic, really. I've travelled a hell of a lot of miles up and down the M6 for sparring, but the sparring I've had in this camp's been second to none. I've been sparring with, Liam Smith, who's obviously world champion, defending his title on this bill, and Hassan Endam, who's a former middleweight world champion as well. And so those experiences you can't buy them really, and it's gone really well, and I've learnt a lot, picked up a lot, and really looking forward to putting it into practice on Saturday night.
When you're sparring with the likes of Liam Smith, what exactly can you take from an experience like that?
Masses can be taken. If I was going up there and getting beaten up, it wouldn't be any good. But and it probably wouldn't be any good for them because they want testing as well. So, it's credit to me really that they keep asking me back for sparring. It's great. And but in terms of learning experience, obviously he's world champion. He's competing at the highest level, and he's successful at that level. And mixing with him, he's very, very good. He's very good at what he does. He doesn't make any mistakes. And when you make a mistake, they punish it. And I think that's the difference mixing with those top level fighters. When you make a mistake against those sort of lads, they really capitalise on it. They may not be the biggest punchers or whatever, but it doesn't matter, because when they get you, they get you. Do you know what I mean? And I think having those experiences in the gym and those learning experiences, and I can take so much from it, and managing to eradicate mistakes throughout the camp as well, is something that we've really worked on, and it's paying off for me massively in my fighting.
Let's talk a little bit about your opponents. I've got his name here, I'm going to try and pronounce it correctly. Robert Swierzbinski, only been stopped twice by Chris Eubank Jr. and David Lemieux. Fairly high calibre opponent, but you struggled to get an opponent, didn't you? Yeah,
really struggled. Offered it to a lot of different fighters, British, foreign, ranked higher and lower than me, and it kept getting turned down. So we've got Robert, and I have watched a bit of him. He's obviously, like you said, he's been in with Chris Eubank Jr. Eubank stopped him in 7. David Lemieux did a quick job on him and done him in the first round. So he tends to get caught clean and he drops, but he always gets back up. So I'll be looking to put on a explosive display really, and I'm planning on getting him out of there before Eubank did anyway.
Is a fighter like this a measuring stick for where you are, Tommy?
I think it's really hard to say measuring sticks in fighters and things like that, because really if I fight this geezer and get rid of him, which I plan on doing, and that's what I should do. So if I do that, it's only what I should do really. It's not answered any questions about me. It doesn't say anything. I'm relatively unknown commodity, to be fair, in the middleweight division at the moment in Britain and also worldwide, because I've not actually been, I've not been tested really. We've not tried to get the tests. We've been fighters there that are supposed to have provided it, but I've managed to come for every fight and I've not lost a round, and and so that kind of makes me people don't really know what else I've got to offer. So I think the real measuring sticks when you get in there with somebody of the same level as you, and come through it. Do you know what I mean? And then you can say a bit more about me. But I know what I've got, and my team know what I've got, and what we believe in what I've got. And so, to be honest, it doesn't really matter what I do. And how I do it, because I know what I've got the level to mix with the best in the division.
You mentioned there that you're a fairly unknown commodity in the middleweight division. The middleweight division is absolutely packed full of stars at the moment, with Gennady Golovkin at the top. Do you consider the division to be the most competitive out there at the moment?
The middleweight division really has always been the most competitive throughout history. If you look at the level of, it's the most popular weight really, middleweight. It's rammed full of the best fighters from each country. Do you know what I mean? So it is a stacked division, and it's got a lot of top fighters. And obviously having the main man at the top of the division in Gennady Golovkin makes it that much more exciting. And obviously it's an eye-catching division. In the middleweight division you've got it's a light enough weight that we fight at a high pace, but also punch hard enough that you're going to get knockouts. I mean, you get some odd freak comes along like Gennady Golovkin who just knocks them all out anyway, and it makes it really exciting. I think, you know, I've always thought them from welterweight to super middleweight, they're the most exciting divisions, and it's great to be a part of it, really. And you know, I keep going the way I'm going. There's some big fights out there for me, and I'm really excited for that.
I've read some interviews that you've been doing. You've been talking about Jacobs, Quillen, and obviously you're on the undercard of Andy Lee and Billy Joe Saunders. 2016, is that the year for you to mix it at world level?
I mean, the interviews I've been asked about for them, look, they've put a spin on it, really. I haven't called any of them out or anything like that. And to be honest with you, you know, we've spoke about this, me and my trainer, and ideally, 4 to 5 fights away from world level. And I believe, like, so in a year's time, you know, I believe I won't only win a world title, I'll keep it and I'll hold on to it and be a reigning world champion. Having said that, if an offer come along in the new year in 2016, you know, to fight a world, you know, I'm never going to turn it down. I'm the sort of person that if opportunity comes knocking, I ain't going to turn it down. And it's plus, I believe I can beat those sort of fighters. You know, I'm not going to say I believe I can beat Gennady Golovkin at the moment, because I don't. But you know, when you're talking about a world champion, like say Billy Joe, we beat Andy Lee, or even if Andy Lee beat, you know, a world champion from Britain, you know, fighting on your home soil against somebody, you know, and bring a big fan base and everything. And with my sort of style and work rate and everything like that, like, I really believe I'll give anybody problems. And so I'd be more than willing to step up to the plate if I've got offered. But if it doesn't come, then I'm quite happy to just take the nice steady learning route, and then, you know, when the time's right, clean up.
Does that include Golovkin? If the money was right, would you step into the ring with him?
If the money's right, mate, I'll step in the ring with anybody, to be fair. But like, I think the reality is with Golovkin, if he decides he wants to clean up the division and unify all the titles, he will. It's just a matter of time. I think, and obviously it's up to the fighters themselves. Like you said, for example, like Billy Joe Saunders or Andy Lee, whoever comes through that fight, if they decide they want to avoid Golovkin, then they don't have to fight him. You know, he's not the mandatory, so they can stay a world champion for a while, and he can't get that belt. But at the same time, it's going to be big money on the line to fight him. You know, you're talking going to Vegas and fighting in America, millions of pounds. So you wouldn't ever say, like, I would think most fighters would say, do you know what, I'll have that, I'll have a go. And if he unifies the division, which I expect that he wants to do, and I think he will do, then where does he go? He's got to go up.
He's got to go up in weight.
He's got to go up, because the big fight, you know, if you want to be a superstar and be remembered for being the best of your era, or being, you know, a megastar, you can't keep fighting people who are perceived to be beneath you or lower than you. And I think you've got to move on and move up in caliber, or move up in weight at least, and fight bigger men. And I think that's what will end up happening. Hopefully he does that a bit quicker, and you know, if he does that fast enough, then I can sneak in behind him when he vacates all the belts.
We've seen a lot of British success recently, most notably Anthony Crolla and Tyson Fury, of late, winning world titles. I think that's 11 British world champions we've got now. Does that enthusiasm spread to you, Tommy? Do you want to be a part of that? Of
course. I mean, who wouldn't? You know, like I said, the British boxing at the moment is booming. We've got the most. I think we've got the most world champions out of all the countries in the world, and that includes like United States and things. So it's wicked that such a small island really is producing such great fighters. But I think at the moment we've had sort of like a movement of boxing in this country, with who people turn, like Olympians turning pro, a lot of hype about it, and we've had a steady, obviously steadily collecting world titles, and I think that will continue. You know, I think we're going to pick up a few more down in the next few months, and so it'd be great to be a part of that, obviously. And you know, it's just what you dream of, really, being a world champion. So if I can do that, I'm done.
And finally, you're fighting next in February. You already know that. Has work already begun on finding an opponent for that bout?
As far as I know, yeah. I can't say too much about it, but you know, it'll be. I've asked for a test. You know, I've asked for somebody a bit of a higher level, and I want to mix with somebody a bit better. So I've asked for that. But it's a good one in February. You know, obviously, as I'm sure you know, I take a lot of West Brom fans to my fights and things. So the one in February is on the undercard. Derry Matthews against Terry Flanagan at the Echo Arena in Liverpool, and it's on the 13th of Feb. And we just happen to be away against Everton on that day, so I expect to take a lot of West Brom fans to that one in all. So that'd be good.
And just a word on West Brom's season as well, actually. How would you assess the work Tony Pulis has done there so far?
You know what? To start with, like, I was a bit of a critic, and it's not the most. At times, it's not the most exciting football to watch, but I have to say the team is playing very well at the moment together as a team. They've worked tremendously hard on the pitch, and you know, we're getting the results. You know, we got 6 points from Arsenal, Tottenham, West Ham, and Liverpool, and you know, 2 of them away. You know what I mean? That's good going, really. No losses there, and I think the team is really starting to play well as a team, and you know, a few of the players who we've bought now are really starting to shine. You know, McLean and Johnny Evans is just a wicked boy for us, and he's proven himself to be probably the best player on the team, on the pitch at the moment. And so as long as we keep going like that, and we're starting to get a bit more explosive on the attack as well now. And I think if we can continue with that momentum and keep, you know, maybe get a couple of nice buys in January, then I think, you know, we're on to do very well this season. I'm happy with them at the moment. I'm happy with them, yeah.